And I see you shake your head over there. You want to talk about the boys at the bottom, but you know what? Let's talk about the top. You know, Reciprocity, top team, Hive, the top team. Anything like unorthodox there, or were you expecting that?
The remaining core of Hive, Noe, Tidy, and Demise, they get it done, they shut it down, and Hive remains perfect in North American Division Bravo, and they sit at 4-0.
In the end, everybody wants the same goal.
Yeah.
And in the end, we should all be working together because we are all on the same team. Player, developer, fan, it don't matter.
What is up, family? Welcome back to Gears Unlimited. Hey, I know it's been a while since we've done an episode, but do not worry about it. I'm about to let you guys know of everything you've missed. We also got a special guest coming onto the show today. It's gonna be Sam, so I'm happy to talk to him. I love when we get Gears Pro players in the house. But without further ado, let's hop right into it. I gotta let you guys know, because we've been waiting for it for a very long time. Mazer! They have their skins in the game finally. So if you love the esports of Gears, and I think you do, that's one of the reasons why you're here, make sure you go out there and pick up those skins. Also, now, as far as game updates go, we got two big ones. Rank changes. No more negative points in ranked. Even if you win, you're out there, drop 100 eliminations, and you get negative points. I know it feels bad, but guess what? It's not happening anymore. Rank changes in the game. I personally progressed on from bronze all the way up to onyx, and I've been having a blast. Make sure you guys go check that out. Another change that has been helping your boy out just a bit is the Nasher changes. We've had the chunk range be brought in a little bit more, some flat damage on the pellets at long range for consistent chipping away with the L triggers of that shotgun. But don't hear from me. Head over to gears5.com. Check out the news section. You got some detailed notes there from multiplayer designer Node Zero as he talks about everything with the changes and why they made them. All right, guys, as you know, we got a special guest today. Let's introduce him officially. My man, Sam, come on over to the couch. My favorite couch in the whole wide world.
Yo, what's up?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
Doing good, no complaints. Thank you for having me.
Hey, yo, you look good. Fresh fade, nice chain.
Appreciate
man, you
it,
up here. You
Thank
showing
you,
me up on my own show. How you gonna come up in my house looking better than me?
Thank you. You look good too, though.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you,
it.
man. Tell the fans out there where you're from, what team you currently play for, and when did you break out into the Gears 4 scene?
Pretty much picked up playing Gears of War from my brothers. My brothers would play Gears 1 and Gears 2, and I just loved that so much. Like, I would just sit in the room all day, and like, it's just a game I fell in love with. And I got my first Xbox around Gears 3, and I got Gears 3 with the Xbox. It was a Black Friday deal.
Yeah.
I just played the game every day, and I just fell in love with it. And Gears 4 came around, and I just decided to take my skill to the next level. I put in the time like every day, would grind GBs, and yeah, I would just grind. And my first event came around to be Atlantic City.
Okay.
And yeah, that was my first time ever taking a flight, so I was like,
Oh,
I wasn't that
how was
nervous.
that?
It was great, honestly. It was a red-eye flight too. It was at midnight, so
so you
I landed like
probably
I landed like at 6 a.m.
Okay.
And I had Nunez pick me up. Shout out Nunez. I went back to his house, and then we drove up to AC. And yeah, that was a great event. Like, could have went better, but for my first event, it was cool.
Do your brothers still play Gears of War? Did they teach you anything over the years, or are you better than them now?
Nah, I'm way better than them now. they watch me play now. That's the crazy part. They're like, yo, like, where's the streams, where's the links, and all that. So I learned a lot from them, though, and I appreciate them.
You're currently playing with Soap, formerly named Glory, and you guys have been playing in the Challenger series.
Yes, sir.
You know, tell me a little bit about your team, and tell me about the Challenger series and how you guys been performing.
I think there's been about 4 Challenger series, and I would say we won about two of them and made finals in the 3rd one, and then the 4th one we had lost in semifinals. And I'm really confident in our team. We play In Control again tomorrow. I look forward to that matchup. And then, yeah, the Challenger series have been going great for us, honestly.
Now,
yeah.
so when it comes down to top Challenger series teams, I'm hearing that it's Soap, Rebels, and In Control. Any others you want to add in there?
Honestly, I think that's the 3, followed by Toadie's team.
Nice. So now, when it comes down to the path to the Pro League, you know, how has that been for you guys, and how do you feel about it?
After the first Pro League qualification, we had some like uncalled roster changes, in my opinion. I feel like our original roster was me, Soto, Pell, Crash, and Excels. I felt like that roster was really solid, and we knew what we were getting with Excels, as in where he was a bit rusty, and I felt like we made a bad decision dropping him. And I feel like if we stuck with him, we would have definitely made the Pro League. And then, yeah, it was just honestly like really bad mistakes on our part. And I felt like if we would have stuck together with that roster, we would have gone far. But
Yeah,
it's all learning experience. I think Excel's like falls into like a category where he's also like talking at the same time too. Like
which is hard to do, shooting and
for
talking.
sure.
Folks, I don't know if you guys know it at home, but when it comes down to shooting and talking at the same time, for some reason it's so difficult. Who would have thought, right?
It's not just like talking like, yo, like I got one on me. He's telling people what to do like across the map.
Puppet
That's
master
the
and
thing.
shooting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally.
you flank here, you flank to the right.
Nah, that's
what are you
literally what
doing?
it
Don't
is.
worry, I'm fighting everybody.
Exactly.
You guys are gonna be playing In Control this week. This episode is gonna air after you guys play
Yeah.
them. But any thoughts on that matchup and that team?
We're gonna take that. I'm pretty confident with the matchup. I know they made a roster change. They picked up Speedy and a Misses, but I still look forward to that matchup. I know it's gonna be a good match regardless, but obviously I see us winning. So yeah.
You know, hey, I hope this ages well. If not, don't worry,
Sheesh,
we'll
I
have
hope
the
so,
footage
too.
tomorrow.
Yeah, I hope so.
Now we head into map number 1 on Bunker, and it was all EU's finest, folks. And I don't exaggerate when I say that. Round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just straight domination from the boys in EU. It's almost like they're saying Blaze out here, saying Regal Reserve is the best team. We gotta shut them up one time. Nobody on Obey Alliance had more than 9 eliminations. But that's map 1. Let's head over to map number 2. Once again, round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. EU's finest, straight domination. And they take this series 2-0, and they go up 4-0 in your Pro League. Now we head over to map number 1 on Training Grounds. The first 4 rounds goes in favor of Rated R. Zorkos said I was not gonna get beat 5-0 on Training Grounds, and you're gonna see Regal Reserve win the next 3 rounds, but even despite his efforts, Rated R, they close it out 5-3 in map number 1. Strikers and Dragon, 36 eliminations apiece. We go to map number 2 on Bunker. The Spaniards, Fractures and Cougars comes out to lead the charge, and you're gonna get the first 2 rounds won by Regal Reserve. But at this point, Marsh and Strikers, they have had enough. The newest members of Rated R, they win rounds 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, winning 5 in a row to close out the second map on Bunker and go up 3-1 in the lead.
So since I got you here today, I want to go over and I want to get your opinions on the Pro League. It's always nice to have a top player chilling with me here at the crib. And so let's talk about European Pro League. You've been watching at home. What do you think about this league?
I feel like the competition has never been better in the European like Pro League. I feel like they're all going at it, and like the teams are really good and even. I feel like you see the edge in some teams in some week, like you said, like there was a 10-0. But for the most part, I feel like the competition on that side is way better than it's ever been.
Yeah, no, it definitely has been. And we talk about the 2 teams at the top, EU's finest, and then Rated R. One thing is that Rated R, they were the worst team in the division the last season. You have them at the top, and you gotta give credit to their newest pickups in Martian Strikers.
For sure. Marcius has an impact, like he'll be around the map at all times. Like he's a really good support player too, and then he can also get his hands dirty. So you gotta appreciate a player like that when they know like when they can answer for their teammates, but then also know when to stop, and when they gotta do it, they gotta do it. And then also Strikers is really good too. That guy's been good since Gears 4, and like he's been known to just catch bodies all the time. So that's the type of player he is. So like automatically like picking up those 2 type of players, like your team can only get better.
Fire and Ice versus Astral. We head into map number 1, and it is all Estro. They come out winning the first 4 rounds in a row, then Fire and Ice, they're trying to respond. They get a few, but in the end, Estro locks in map number 1, and Reflame is your MVP with 25 eliminations. We go to map number 2 on Training Grounds. Once again, Estro come out firing off 3 rounds in a row, looking unbeatable. But in this moment, I can just imagine Choche leading the troops, because Fire and Ice, they come back, they get 2 rounds in a row, and then Estro, they win another one. Coming to match point 4-2, Choche, he rounds the troops together and they win 3 rounds in a row to force the map 3. Despite Fearsley's efforts for a straw, Fire and Ice, they get it done and they make this an exciting series. Estro looking to stay undefeated with teams like Reciprocity and Hive and EU's Finest in the rest of the divisions. But it was Fire and Ice who had something to say about this matchup. They come out and they set the tone in the first 2 rounds. The teams go back and forth, and all of a sudden we find ourselves all tied up 3-3 after round 6. Can Estro remain undefeated? They cannot, because Choche and Young Gun Raver, they come together as a unit, and Fire and Ice gives Estro their first loss of the Pro League, and now they are sitting at 2-2. We head into map number 1, Asylum. Pittsburgh Knights, they was not playing around. This is the team that we've loved so much throughout their careers in Gears 4, coming to Gears 5. They dominate Asylum 5-1 with Identis as the MVP. We head over to map number 2. For E-Storm, Toxic, he came out firing off on all cylinders, looking to lead his team to a map 2 victory to force the map 3. But the 3rd round comes, and Dezenite leads the team to 5 rounds in a row, and Pittsburgh Knights wins the matchup against E-Storm 2-0. And now you have Pittsburgh Knights tied up with Fire and Ice, 2-2 in their division, and they're playing in week 5, folks. You don't want to miss that one.
This is probably the most spicy pro league in which we've had so far. You got Estro at the top at 3-0. Then coming on down, the rest of the teams were at 1-2. Pittsburgh Knights, Fire and Ice, and E-Storm. So we go into the matchups this week. Estro versus Fire and Ice matchup. And then you're gonna have a Pittsburgh Knights versus E-Storm.
That division is staticky, to say the least.
That's the word,
to say the
staticky.
least. I feel like there's a ongoing rivalry now more than ever in the LATAM scene. And the teams, like, they feel like they're truly better than Pittsburgh Knights. Because in Gears 4, we saw them as Optic Mexico or under Ghost. And those 5 players were always known to be the best Latin American players. And I feel like with the rise of Astral, we just see more LATAM players that truly feel like they're better. And like, that's their crown for the taking, man.
It is.
I'm a fan of Astral. They're all goons. They're good. They're good. They could do it.
The one thing that I love about the Pro League is that since you get everybody in the region having played each other, the region gets better. Then in Gears 4, they was watching from the outskirts like, yeah, we see them. We're rooting for them.
Yeah.
But we should be there.
Exactly.
We're rooting for them. But I can't wait till we get our opportunity. And now we saw what Estro did with their opportunity.
As we know, like, Mexico gets crazy. But I can't wait to see if it's a Latin American team against another one. Like, how's that gonna work? You know, because like that just comes down to fan favorites and who the fans want to see win more. And Charlotte taking that 2nd place last event, man, that was their event.
That
they
was
could have won
huge.
that. They could have won that, and I feel like that put a big fan base behind them, for sure.
And we're going to their home turf.
Exactly.
I can't wait. Let's get it.
It's gonna be 1-2 in-game versus 0-3 Orbit. We head into map number 1, in-game, dominating the map. Rounds 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Out here looking like EU's Finest in their matchups. Praise drops 28 eliminations, and they secure map number 1 in the bag and head on over to training grounds. Rounds 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 won by way of domination. That's one hill you can't climb. In-game wins the series 2-0, and they are now 2-2 in the Pro League. 3-0 Hive versus 0-3 No Mercy Esports. Map number 1 on Icebound. No Mercy Esports, they come out to a 2-1 lead, but Hive, they start getting more control over trading posts and controlling the map. No Mercy Esports, they had a good start, but in the end, it was actually the newest player in the Pro League, Fnatic, who put on a clinic, 29 eliminations, and he subs in for TJ, fills his role, and he was the force that Hive needed to close out map number 1, 5-3. Now, map number 2 on training grounds. Let's see if No Mercy Esports can flip it around and force the map 3. It starts off good for No Mercy Esports. They come out trading rounds up to round 4. Then they put the drop shot down at the E-Hill, looking for a more favorable team fight, but all they do is group up for Hive to slowly dominate them the next 2 rounds and take control of the series. And even though No Mercy, they made this one a little bit more difficult than map number 1, the remaining core of Hive, Noe, Tidy, and Demise, they get it done and they shut it down, and Hive remains perfect in North American Division Bravo, and they sit at 4-0. It's 1-3 Rise Nation versus 3-0 Reciprocity. When it comes to the Pro League, Reciprocity, a force to be reckoned with. Icy, with great rotations, puts his team in a good position with a nice 3-1 lead. We head over to round number 5. Rise Nation starting to pick it back up just a bit more. But even when things are looking good for them, Rise Nation find a way to lose round 5 in round 6. Reciprocity, the front 3, the offensive line, Rushies, Fran, Powers, they lock it down in map number 1, 5-1, and we head on over to Bunker. Rise finds himself down early once again, and it's looking like a repeat of map 1. But Rise, they formed together some great pushes in round 5 and 6, led by the team captain of Vexies to tie this one up. But the key to this series was Reciprocity's weapon placements. They outplaced Rise in map number 1 with the shot grenade, and then map number 2 with the sniper, denying the weapon tree for Rise Nation. And in the end, it was Icy with a few nice snipes and his 28 eliminations to make sure Reciprocity secures the map number 2 victory, 5-3. Now, we head into our last match of the night. It's Mazer Gaming 2-1 versus Parallax 1-2. We go into round number 5. It was a crazy one. Hezzy trying to keep Mazer Gaming in this one, trying not to let them lose that lead. With impressive rotations, it comes down to him in a final 1v1 and he loses it. And now Parallax 4-1 lead. We've seen him in this position before against Hive, not being able to close out the maps. Of course, this time it's gonna be different. Round 6, 7, 8, 9. Mazer shuts Parallax down and they blow another lead and lose the map 5-4. We head over to map number 2. It's on training grounds. Rounds 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, all dominated by Mazer Gaming. From that moment on, Parallax then win another round, and Mazer Gaming, they close out the series 3-1, and they sit at the 2nd position of North American Division Bravo.
And I see you shake your head over there. You want to talk about the boys at the bottom, but you know what? Let's talk about the top. You know, Reciprocity, top team, Hive, the top team. Anything like unorthodox there, or were you expecting that?
From Reciprocity, they're definitely the team to beat. I think we saw that after that reverse sweep in San Diego. They came out firing all cylinders. You know, they went down 2-0, back against the wall, so they really turned up. And right now, they're definitely a team to beat, standing at 4-0 in their pool. And with Hive, I think Hive has always been talented. And no knock to their grind. I think they've gotten better over time for sure. From Gears 4, Gears 5, you could definitely tell a jump in their skill, and they're starting to understand the game more. And that's starting to show with like their results. They're 2-2 right now in their pool, which is all right. But like to say like you're tied with NRG or XNRG, says a lot.
Let's talk about these bottom 3 Pro League teams, all right? Because I know you're watching VNPR cast them at home. I know you're looking like, we should be here. We should be in the league. Rebels should be in the league, but you're not. How you feel watching those teams?
I think better teams definitely need to be in the league. It also comes down to us being bad though, because like we had that chance to qualify too, you know. And as harsh as that is, that's the truth. Like we had to be better when it came down to qualification. And unfortunate things happened. You know, we were teaming with someone that didn't really want to play the game, and we could have obviously like made a roster change before it was too late. But like we got talked a good one. We thought we weren't getting into like what actually happened, if that makes sense. We thought he was gonna be willing to play the game and be more dedicated, and it just turned out his heart really wasn't into it. And it's not like he was bad, he just didn't have the knack for it anymore. He didn't have the passion, and that's all it really came down to. Getting 5 personalities that mesh and like 5 compatible schedules, it's hard.
Is the skill gap that great between those bottom 3 teams and the guys at the top and the other 5?
I think more so in this game, the skill gap is more of a team thing,
Okay.
less of an individual thing. I think Gears 4 had a bigger individual skill gap because if it didn't, the same team wouldn't win every single event, you know? So I think it definitely came down to being better individuals, but in this game, it's more of a team thing, 100%.
Oh, and you know, that kind of makes sense too as well. And we're seeing that the team that, even in Gears 4, that we said kind of had the best teamwork and reciprocity, that core, they're sitting at the top now. And then the team with all that individual skill as well is right there at the bottom below them, which is in-game coming off that Dynasty.
With a stronger shotgun, it's more of an even playing field, you know? With a weaker shotgun, it builds for more inconsistencies, and players could take advantage of that. I felt like NRG had some of the best players in the game in Gears 4, and they were really good with the shotgun, and they knew how to take advantage with the inconsistencies of the shotgun. With Gears 5, we have a better shotgun, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like people rely more on teamwork, and it comes down to hitting 1 or 2 shots in this game, whereas in Gears 4, it's like 3, 4, 5, longer fights.
Yeah, and with the movement and the speed,
Exactly,
you know,
yeah.
it depends on what you're flowing, the pace of the,
Nah,
of the,
for
of
sure.
the map. Yeah, I
Yeah,
get
so
that.
having better teamwork in this game goes a long way, and I think that speaks to the standings.
Sam, when I was playing in Gears competitively, you know, I'm blessed now to, you know, kind of be working in the scene full time in esports. But I know for, you know, not all players, you know, they have that luxury, right? And so tell me a little bit about, you know, who is Sam outside of Gears, you know? And how do you do balancing both lives?
Pretty much balance between school and Gears. I don't work because
Okay.
I was under different organizations. I was getting paid throughout like the whole time I've
Yeah.
been playing Gears pretty much. So I pretty much just go to school and I take a couple classes every semester, whether it be online or in class, and I just balance that between scrimming at 4, 6, and 8. Like West Coast time,
Yep.
because East Coast time is 7, 9, 11. So
Okay.
so scrim start at 4 my time and end about like around 10. And so yeah, I'll take like morning classes from like 8 to 9 a.m., 9 to 10 a.m. and take online classes, and I pretty much just balance school out like that. Make sure like my schedules
Yep.
don't collide.
School is a lot of work.
Yeah, for sure.
One thing I want to say is that I think the 4-6-8 is like the best scrim schedule compared to 7, 9, 11. I wish.
No way. I personally dislike it.
Why?
I like going out in the daytime more. So I'd rather be out and not feel rushed to get home. Because sometimes it's like I'll get out of class and like I'll go get lunch or something with my friends, and it feels like I have to be home right away. And I hate that.
That's West Coast, right? West
Yeah.
Coast. That's good weather. That's
Yeah.
California. You're here.
Exactly.
At 4 o'clock in Cali time.
Yep.
I don't want to be scrimming. So
Yeah.
you got a valid point for that one. I come from. I used to have. I say used to, but I'm like, it's still in me just a bit. It's like
Yeah.
living in there, and that's my gaming sleep schedule. It's so annoying. Going from the days I'm falling asleep, and it was like a gradual thing. It was 1 a.m. to 2 a.m.
Yeah.
then 3
And it's
a.m.
just
to
worse.
4. But man, I think it's so great when you can just get up and start your day as early as possible and get good sleep at night.
Yeah.
And maybe it's the old man in me as I get older, but I'm figuring out the morning schedule is elite.
You really think so?
Waking up early and like, I would love to be done with scrims early and get up at like 5 or 7 a.m.
Wow.
and knock my day out, get to the gym, get my coffee in, start planning.
I go to school on Mondays and Wednesdays, and I feel like I have a terrible sleep schedule. I'll sleep at 2, 3 a.m., wake up at 8 for class, to be there like at 9.
6 hours.
That's terrible. That's terrible. I feel like all gamers are. It's so natural to us,
Yeah.
like not sleeping.
And I will tell all gamers that changes with age, all right? That's my message to all gamers, because you feel like Superman now,
Yeah.
then you reach the point where I was like 2 years ago, and my body was like, F you, I'm not gonna be up any longer, I'm not gonna eat
Catches
that
up.
trash,
Yeah.
and you're gonna have to go for a whole reset, which I did. I'm giving y'all the word now that y'all better start with little bitty changes in your schedule. Then it's gonna be all good. From the outside looking in, when it comes down to your family watching you and your friends watching you, have you kind of blended both lives?
I think I've done a really good job blending both lives, because my friends, like, I don't know if you've seen them, they've been at events before, and like they love supporting me. Same with my family. Like my brothers always watch like streams, my friends always watch streams. Like whenever I'm in a tournament, streaming wagers, whatever it be, like they're watching. So
Hey, that's nice.
yeah, I think I've done a really good job at blending them. And at first, like, it was really hard for me, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was like shy about it, and like I didn't really tell anyone like I play video games professionally. And it was kind of like a hump I had to get over, you know?
Yeah,
And,
same. I had to as well. I agree with that.
like telling people, like, I don't know why, it just brought like a feeling of like not wanting to be judged, but also like I don't know, it's just like really weird at first, you know?
It for me, it started off with it was my thing, right? It was me at home. You know, I made my friends, and it was my special thing. That was how I kind of escaped from my day-to-day life.
Yeah, reality.
And then it kind of became my day-to-day life.
Exactly.
And then it was almost like, you know, it was that transition in there. But, you know, over the years, you know, it's something to be proud of. Like, you know, being able to, you know, make money off esports, become a professional gamer. In 2020, if somebody tells me that, that ain't cool. You don't want to do that? Hold up. I break out stories. I'm like, you telling me you ain't trying to get flown across? You ain't trying to play with your friends? You ain't trying to win some money? You ain't trying to have fun? Eat great tacos in Mexico City?
sir.
Like, you're lying.
And I feel like that's kind of how it started with everyone. At first, it was just like, I'm gonna get home, drop off my backpack, like in the living room, or in my room, and just get straight to playing, and like hours on hours on hours. And then like, it goes from like an escape from like day to day, like how you said, to like, that is my everyday now. Like now I look forward to scrimming. Like, it's not just like looking forward to getting home.
practicing.
Exactly, yeah. Working, like, you know, like it's crazy how it is, like playing video games, like and getting paid to do so. Like, it's a blessing, you know? And like, it's definitely an opportunity like people shouldn't take for granted, because like, it really is a blessing.
It's an opportunity that you definitely don't want to take for granted. And, you know, nowadays, you know, we look at, you know, the community in Gears 5 and how everything is. It feels like sometimes a few players out there, do you think a few players may be taking it for granted?
I think so. A lot of players take it for granted, whereas their heart isn't in it. Like, they don't play for the sole joy of the game, where like they got good at the game and then this opportunity just came to them, you know? It's like, they kind of went looking for it, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of players like lose their drive and their passion, where they're like, all right, like some players do start off like, yo, I love Gears so much, like, or any game, but I'm gonna just stick to Gears. Like, yo, I love Gears so much, get on it, play every day for fun, pubs, GBs, wagers, everything, day in and day out. And then just over time, you kind of just like lose that drive for the game. And then like,
It becomes serious. It doesn't become fun anymore.
And like, you're not just soul skating anymore. Like, you're playing for the money now. And like it kills, honestly. Like it really ruins careers, and like you just lose like something you love. Like, you love Gears for so long, and then like you just start playing for the money, and like seen it happen.
And it shows. I think it shows up in their skill too.
Yeah. For sure. No,
it shows up in
does.
their shot. When you start shooting for the dollar and not shooting for the trophy.
That's
a different vibe.
Yeah, that is a different vibe.
It seems like some players are kind of losing that drive. Do you think that's true?
Absolutely. And I think that just comes with something over time, where maybe the game isn't as fun to them. Maybe they aren't seeing the results that they want to see. And maybe sometimes it just comes with like getting over it, you know? Maybe it's just not your passion anymore. And like, that's all good. But like, some
But if
people,
it is
like,
your passion.
yeah, you gotta go for it. But some people project that feelings onto the game, and then like they'll blame the game for their lack of passion. You know what I mean? Or like, maybe their results aren't the best, so they'll blame the game. And that's just something as a community we got to do better and not do that.
People don't understand how Twitter works, because it's a small world, and everybody else out there in esports is watching our community members, right, talk about the game in such a negative light, and then they look at us like, oh, that's the same Gears.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's Gears being all ratchet. Oh, it's just, that's Gears, you know. We're not gonna look into it. Let's go do all this stuff and follow some people, not care, not look, mute, and do their own thing. And it's just like, okay, I understand that y'all feel like I don't know if people feel like it's strength in numbers, that the louder they complain, the quicker something gets fixed.
Yeah.
But in the end, even if it was fixed tomorrow, somebody still has to go back and clean up all the
change that notion
and
that
change
they
the narrative.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I be pissed about, because I'm like, man, I didn't work hard, even at COD events, talking to people like Hector and other people like, yo, what's up? How your team doing? You don't want to miss the next event. What point that you don't realize that's not works?
And it sucks because it's so easy to be negative. especially on Twitter, people are so
It's easy to get likes being negative too.
Exactly. And people they see someone be funny about being negative, and then they love being negative. Like it's like a cool thing to be, I guess. I don't know. It's honestly really weird. It's weird.
It's so I'm so happy you said that because it's so weird to me because even if you get a bunch of content and a bunch of likes off all that negativity,
it's doing more damage.
It's doing more damage, and it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable energy.
Yeah.
You can't. That only lasts you for so long. You gotta find a better source.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like how you said, you're setting an image to other people who are gonna look at it once, maybe not look at it again, and that's what they're gonna think. So even when things change, they had enough. Like that's it. They're not coming back and looking at it. And you're setting like such a false perception of how Gears is. And like people claim they love Gears and like they've been playing for so long, but like why bash it? Like why?
Now even with the transition of the game from Gears 4 to Gears 5, even if things are not right at that point, and they are progressively getting better, and they said that, hey, we're making them better, don't bring down the faces of the community, don't bring down the esport for this present time that's gonna pass at some point. And so until it passes, it should be more focused on how can we make the best of it now? What can we do now for the fans? How can we put on the best show for the community and for everybody now with what we got until things get fixed? And I think that just inspires things to get done quicker, versus the other.
I understand the other side too, like complaining, like you
and
want
you
your
as
voice
a
to be
player,
heard,
right?
Yeah. And I understand complaining because obviously there's faults with the game. Like we're not, no one's sitting here being delusional. Obviously there's faults within the system and the game, and like we all want changes in the game for it to be the best.
Yeah.
But like there's just a way to go about things. And obviously after so many months of feeling like something's wrong, you're maybe gonna do it in the wrong way. Like obviously complaining isn't the best thing to do. Complaining about it and like bashing the game, like it ruins everything that like we built as like a community. And
Over the
like,
last few years.
yeah, and like what the higher ups built too. And it's just like why? Like just don't complain. Like I mean complain, like obviously.
In the end, everybody wants the same goal.
Yeah.
And in the end, we should all be working together because we are all on the same team. Player, developer, fan, it don't matter. This is our home in esports. It's Gears of War. It's a reason why I've been here since 06.
Yeah.
I said it a long time ago that this is my home, and no matter what the state of the game is, the community is, we're gonna do whatever we gotta do to fix it because that's Gears, fam.
Yeah.
Give me some. That was good.
This past Tuesday, we had Title Update 4.1. It was a hot fix, but it removed certain things like the melee speed boost that was in the game. So you want to make sure you check out that detailed list of notes. We got Nash's Only King of the Hill coming this weekend as well to make sure that you guys get to test out those new Nashor changes and warm up that shotgun. We know what Gears is all about. If you can't shoot it straight, what are you playing? Hey, but don't get me wrong, I love Lancer players out there. It's not enough support players in the queue. You guys really want to do us a justice, pull out that Lancer in rank and just start lighting up your opponents. Sometimes there's too many shotguns flying around for my personal taste. EU's Finest 4-0, rated R 3-1. We're heading into week number 5. This matchup is going to be so important for first seed and placing going into Mexico City. Don't want to miss out on that one. Coming up next, LATAM, the same day, Monday, Fire and Ice. Pittsburgh Knights have not beat them just yet. Both teams 2-2 in the LATAM Pro League, fighting for that second place spot and to be one step closer to a straw. Big matchup for Pittsburgh Knights. A straw, they're sitting at 3-1. They got a matchup against East Storm. It's looking easy for them, but when it comes down to topping off against the division, Fire and Ice and Pittsburgh Knights, that matchup is one that you guys do not want to miss. In game, they wasn't looking too good at the start of the league, but with Mexico City coming up closer, in-game is looking to shut it down. Now, the last time they played Rise Nation, Rise beat them. They mopped the floor with them. But if I know the players on the in-game, they're looking to prove a point and win out the rest of their matches of the Pro League. Now, Rise Nation, with the new coaching staff and the newest player on the team, Enzum, they're looking to stay perfect against them going into Mexico City. That's gonna wrap up this episode of Gears Unlimited. I hope you all enjoyed it. I know it was a while since we had the last one, but don't worry about it. It's gonna be one right around the corner. But hey, that's gonna be it for me at Gears Unlimited. I thank you guys for watching. Until next time.